Hello everybody, just checking in to let you know that we're starting a podcast called The Code Switch. Tia and I recorded this the other day. It was our planning meeting. We didn't have a name, we didn't have content, we knew roughly what we wanted to talk about, and we decided to get together on Zoom, have a chat about what's coming up. And this is the planning meeting. It tells you about what is to come, the content that you might enjoy. It is essentially the first episode or a pilot episode or a here's what's coming up episode of The Code Switch with Tia Guttenson and me, Jonty Tan. Enjoy. How you doing?
Nice. How are you?
I'm good. I'm recording this just in case it's brilliant.
Oh, great. I'm just in my pajamas, but that'll do.
Pajamas is fine. How's things?
Good. One of my best friends from Canada was here for 2 weeks, and then my dad was here for 4 days. So
yeah, I saw the pictures of your dad.
Coming down from that now. Yeah, it was nice.
Do you feel, is there like a severe come down after they've been there, or is it like a breather?
I think the day after, because they left on the same day.
Okay.
The day after they left was a lot to process. And then now it's back to normal.
Good. I'm glad you're right. We had a similar thing. We had like my mother-in-law and her husband were here when they were supposed to be here.
Yeah.
2 friends were here late by like 3 weeks. They had like a business meeting and the business things didn't happen, so they had to like wait. And then they came at the same time as my mother-in-law and her husband. Wow. And then some friends were meant to come 2 weeks later. They were doing like medical aid in Papua New Guinea or something, and then that finished early, so they arrived 2 weeks early. Like they were all here at the same time. It was hectic.
Oh my god! Where did they stay?
Mother-in-law and husband stayed here. My friend Ben and his wife stayed at another friend's house, and then the other 2 guys found a place. It was all good. It worked out in the end.
Nice.
So yeah, it's nice to see you.
It's good to see you too.
It's been ages.
I just watched your video earlier today.
We saw that you had commented on it, and Millie was like, "Oh look," and I was like, I was trying to read your, what do you call it, like your username?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's Metig.
Did I use a different account than usual?
Your account, well, I don't know. I don't know if Millie normally reads them, but she showed me.
Oh, it's me, Tia G. That's what it says.
It's me, Tia G. Yeah. And what I read was like, it's Metiag. And I was like, I don't know who Metiag is, but cool.
Well done.
But then she like looked at me like I was an idiot, so.
Which, yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
Thanks. So yeah, it was all good. And I was watching your posts earlier. Today's post was on your Instagram. I love watching your Instagram posts.
Thanks.
The one recently that cracked me up was you having a conversation with your dad, and then it ended up being like the lecturer was sat right next to you, or a course operator. That was great.
Yeah, it was. So it's this guy who was a GP for over, I think, 25 years. And then he's spearheaded this program it's called social prescribing. So looking at people with long-term conditions and making sure that they're getting the support that they need at home through link workers, as opposed to them waiting for the NHS all the time. So he's done a lot of great work with thousands of patients. And then I was just there like on the train. And he heard everything.
That's brilliant.
But it's fine.
Was it constructive feedback in that he could listen to it and be like, well, she has no idea that I'm here. This is really honest. I could learn from this.
No. It wasn't. It was basically, I mean, for the most part, it was probably nice to hear, because I was saying how they were very inspiring and that they've done some important work. But then I just misquoted some numbers and reduced the kind of work he'd done to like financials, as opposed to actually making a difference socially and lives, which is not how I feel about it. But in that moment, that was the biggest thing that was stuck in my brain to relay to my dad. but it's fine.
Brilliant. But those posts are good. I like them.
Thanks.
They're funny. I can imagine them, a lot of them coming through to like podcast moments.
Yeah, hopefully.
Like your outfit, the outfit thing with your Lululemon trousers that you never didn't wear.
Yeah.
Like you wore them at
1
work.
second. Yeah. Ooh. Yes, Blaze. Is it ready? Oh, okay. Thank you. My housemate's making me a toasty.
Oh, nice. We have that, but we call it grab.
Ha 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 ha.
This is a good link. This is a good segue into what I wanted to talk about for what I think would work for our podcast, which I think would be brilliant as to name the podcast. Oh, no, wait. Let me come back away from the name because I don't know if the name is actually working, but the theme of the podcast is essentially the East meets West, cross cultures, what it's like for you as in like having grown up largely over here and now living in Europe, me growing up largely in Europe and now I'm living here, because like some of our observations I think will be really funny because you'll be seeing stuff through a lens. You'll be seeing stuff that I grew up with through a lens that I am not familiar with, and vice versa with me over here. Then we could include those ideas that we had before with like teaching me Singlish, and then it's like a challenge. I have to use it. I have to try and use it in conversation.
Yeah.
And like your brain works in the way that you, because of improv, you would be able to slip in moments where I could have used it potentially in the conversation, and then I could like apply it. Because
that'd be nice.
Your brain works brilliantly that way. And then we could have dissection where we discuss right every month or whenever we're planning on doing this, we pull up one of these things that we've found and that we want to talk about in whatever way we want to talk about it. It might just be like, that's crap, why did they bother? Or there might be something, brilliant, some good content that we could grab off that.
That's great. I'm sold. That sounds wonderful. Though I think it should be an exchange where I teach you Singlish and you have to teach me something I haven't learnt.
Okay, I can try. I don't know if there is anything that you haven't learnt. I think I've already taught you everything I know.
Oh. Really?
I haven't taught you everything you know.
Mostly. I think 90% of the things I know I can attribute to you, so that's good.
Rubbish. By the way, I can't see what you're looking at, so sometimes I'm on camera. I don't know if I'm completely off camera.
Oh, it's fine. You're fine.
It's cool. I just suddenly realised that I'm chatting to you. I've got a camera as well going at me, so that if this is something that we end up sharing, because I think
Did you want me to film something?
No, it's fine. This is all good because I've also screen recording.
Great. Hi, everybody.
What do you think of the name Crossing Codes?
Crossing Codes. I feel like it's almost there, but not quite.
Yeah, right.
Of course, I like the idea of codes.
Yeah, so...
Actually, I got a distinction for an essay I wrote about code switching.
Okay, sweet. Well, this is perfect. Switching codes?
Yeah, so, I mean, it could just be the code switch.
Ooh.
But then also, if I think of code switching, I really think of accents and behavior switching.
Well, the reason where I came from was, do you remember that night you came here and played Mahjong? Yeah. And I had a couple of very local friends here.
Yeah.
And when you're with me, you talk like this, which is like generic, international, slightly British, slightly American blend. And then, but like when you're with like when you're with your mum or with local friends, you're very, very Singaporean. And I had local friends here, and there was me. And at the start of the night, you sounded like you do now, and at the end of the night, you sounded like Singaporean because you are. Yeah. But there was this, like we talked about this confusion that you had.
Oh, 1 second. Thank you very much.
Oh, I thought you were going to introduce me.
She didn't come up all the way on the stairs. Do you want to meet
her?
her?
No, it's fine. Are you literally next to the staircase there?
So this is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's.
So that's
So she
like
just
the
read.
banister. We call it a banister.
Yeah,
Did you know it's called a banister?
that's just an architectural name, Jonty. You're
Right, I
not
don't know.
stupid.
I haven't heard anyone say banister here, but we don't
No
have.
one has banisters.
Yeah, that's probably why. We have like. It's very funny seeing staircase in your house because here we have lifts.
Yeah, but not for one floor.
We've only got one floor. So to get from here to the people downstairs, we use a lift. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm just gonna eat.
no, you do you. Um, yeah, so that night basically is what inspired my thought
Yeah.
of this podcast.
Yeah. So I have always had in the back of my mind a project where I would do a podcast that has to do with multiculturalism and
Yeah.
with accents. Mainly interviewing creatives who come from an international background.
Right.
But I also
I'm
really
a creative
dislike
from an international background.
Yeah, okay.
As are
but
you.
I've always
Sorry,
Yeah.
carry on. I
I've
keep
always
interrupting
really
you.
disliked the medium of a podcast purely because I struggle to engage with it.
Right.
I tried so hard. So I've never done it. And there's part of me that's like, oh, I want to gatekeep this idea for myself to do this project later on. But I probably will never do that. So
Okay.
I'm happy to do it with you.
Thanks. Yeah, I guess like for me, podcasting was never something that I wanted to do. It's never something that crossed my mind either. I am a terrible podcast listener in that like the podcast, not that I listen to terrible podcasts, as in like I'm not very committed to my podcast listening thing. There's
Okay.
I've got one like leadership one that I've dipped in and out of every 3 to 6 months for the last 10 years. It's pretty much the only one. And then recently I've found one that I really enjoyed called Free to a Good Home. I don't know if you've heard it before. But it's great. They take classified ads and they tear them apart basically and say, who the heck are you? Who's this person and why are they trying to sell that or why they're advertising for this? And then I listened to a really interesting one called The Third Way. I think it's a fairly new podcast and it is about healthy humanity essentially, which really got me going with my sociological mind.
Yeah.
And then, so that sort of thing was kind of that's my only sort of podcast engagement ever. And then recently on my YouTube channel, I started just like someone called it social commentary, but for me it was more like social discovery. I started discussing thoughts about Singapore that I had, and I wanted to know, like, for my own my own discovery of self as well as my own country. I started discussing topics that people might engage with and share their ideas. And it was to start with, it's just me talking to a camera, sharing my ramblings, and you know what was nice is that people wanted to hear my ramblings and engage with them. But I'm realizing that I prefer having those conversations like with someone other than just myself.
Yeah, because you're quite boring, so.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And like, there's no one to keep me accountable for where my ramblings go.
Yeah. I think what you said at the beginning about how it's not social commentary, it's social discovery. I think to the viewer or the listener, it comes off as a commentary because we are formulating our response in our minds while we listen to you. So it feels like it's a commentary because we're combining your observations with our opinions.
Exactly.
Which is why it's nice to have someone that you can actually have that rapport with.
And also in social commentary, it is someone talking about it. Whereas for me, I ask a lot of questions that probably come out as rhetorical because no one's answering them. And so my discovery is partly in that process of conversation with a camera, partly in waiting for the response on the comments. And the comments have been brilliant. I've got heaps of interaction. But I think a podcast which has got the genuine, like, follows that same theme of discovery, but also I think, like, I don't want to tell you this, but I find you very, very entertaining, very funny. You've got a great sense of humour. It's just so annoying that I have to say this.
Can you send me the screen recording of that bit?
No, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to share this video and just leave that bit out. And someone's going to wonder how you managed to take like 6 bites out of your sandwich in one go. Yeah, and I think, like, to bring humour into that discovery, but also you're, like, I think it's same but different, right? We've got 2 contrasting viewpoints now, which I think is going to be really interesting.
I agree. I think it's a great idea. They're, like, not opposites, but then there's that.
Right.
It's lovely.
It's the switch.
It's the code switch. We switched.
Yeah.
I should move into your parents' house.
They would probably love that.
And you can move into mine.
I would love that. I can't believe I walked around your neighbourhood without knowing that was your neighbourhood.
Yeah. We should do an episode where I go and visit your parents and you visit mine.
Yeah, let's do that.
Great.
And so YouTube-wise, so we'll put it onto YouTube.
Okay.
If you're cool with that.
Yeah, that's something that's important to me because, like I said, I struggle to engage with a podcast.
So you've got a boring voice but a very funny face.
I'm going to mute you now. No, I find it very hard just to sit and listen. And I've tried different things where, like, you listen while you're doing something or traveling, and I always have to skip back because I realize I've just tuned out a good 5 minutes of the podcast.
Yeah, totally.
I just wasn't there. Whereas if there's a visual, then my brain can track it.
Do you think it's worth putting it out on both platforms, podcasting and YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just do that then. I'm happy to edit.
It's the same content. We just need to do a little bit of extra work. That's fine.
Yeah, it's easy. I'm happy to do that as well. I mean, you're studying, so you actually got you know, you
have a full-time job and a family, so
I've got a full-time job and a family, and a YouTube channel that puts out content every week.
Exactly.
Not that I do much of that.
I was about to say.
Millie does most of it. I'm just there for the eye candy.
Okay. You do you.
Okay. To be fair,
Can we call it?
Go on.
The code switch.
Do you reckon?
Is that too much? Is that too niche?
Like the target audience of that. The target audience is just you and me.
If we ever apply for funding or anything, everything in our official documents has to be written with that.
That would be awful. People, if I do send this out as a video, which I might do, no one's going to know what we're talking about.
It's great. Okay. They'll get it.
They'll get it when they watch the first episode of the podcast.
Yeah, you'll get it, guys. There you go.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Ins and outs. Shall I put it? Are you happy for me to put it on my YouTube channel?
Sure.
I'm not monetizing yet. If people really enjoy it and start monetizing, then I'll just send you cash.
Right. Love me some cash.
And then, like, what do we call them? A care package sounds like you're in trouble. But is it a care package? Is that
my mum says that too.
What?
You're gonna send me Maggie Me?
Yeah, I could send you Maggie Me. Jars of Kaya.
You can't mail that.
I could get it in a suitcase to you, easy.
As in you're gonna come?
No, like my parents visit regularly.
Oh, that's true.
And then they'll just take some Kaya back. So for me, this is totally content. For me, when I was living in the UK, the stuff that I couldn't wait to get when people would visit from Singapore or people would come back from here, or whether if we came and took stuff home, for real, a jar of Kaya would always be like, I'd just be so happy. And I had this like real stressful time because I really like my kaya thick. Yet when you do that, you know it's not going to last very long. And it was just like, what do I do with myself? I don't know. So I'd probably go really, really thin for like to start with, and it'll last a really long time. And then I'm just like, screw this, I'm going for it. And then I'll finish half the last half of the jar in one go.
The proper experience.
Yeah. And so kaya and bakwa.
Okay. So with kaya, I have my kaya dealer. I know where to get it.
Okay.
Because I found myself, when I got here, all I was doing was looking for really good Asian food shops.
Oh, yeah. That's what you do.
And all I was doing was cooking Singaporean food. I really didn't expect it, but suddenly that's just all I did.
Yeah.
So I know which shops to go to for what, and I have my kaya.
Okay, great. Well, you got kaya, don't worry. Do you have
But I don't have bakwa.
Okay, well, we'll sort out bakwa. Like, on my budget, you might have to have the vacuum pack small ones, you know? Do you know the ones I mean?
I know the ones you mean.
Every now and again, you know, I'm very happy to treat you, and I'll go to BCH.
What do you mean?
BCH and get it vacuum packed and sent over.
Thanks. I can send you some fritters.
No, I'm good. I literally don't think I miss anything.
Really?
Okay, no, that's a lie. There's one thing probably I think that I miss, but I don't know whether I miss it enough to want to have it. Like every now and again, like once every 9 months to a year, because I'm not a tea drinker, I'm a coffee drinker, but I would make myself a really, really dark, strong cup of tea.
Nice.
Splash of milk, no sugar.
Nice.
And I'd rinse a whole packet. Oh, my battery's just died.
Oh. Stop saying interesting things now.
Hang on. Let me try this. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Intercom. Hey, would you be able to bring me your camera and a battery, please?
Hello?
Thanks.
What was that?
I just intercom to the house.
That's so cool.
On my watch. Yeah, look, let me just change the view like for people. I think I might turn this into our first episode. I think it'd be cool. How do I do this? Change the view. I'm such an uncle. Okay, we got it. We're in. What?
Why didn't you just open your door and speak to her?
Because I'm sitting here. Door's miles away.
Okay.
I can't reach that.
Fair. Yeah, I have mine just here. I have the worst door handle in the world, and I don't know if I'm allowed to remove this, so I just leave it.
Is that a sticker or is that structural?
It's a sticker, but knowing this, I just realized it says Singapore Airlines on it.
Was it yours?
No!
Oh, that's cool. Hello? Hey! Who's this?
Hello?
Have you
Are you
forgotten her name?
tired?
Have you forgotten her name?
It starts with Miss.
Dave.
Bob.
It's Dave.
Noodle.
That's what I call her.
You call who?
Aspen.
You call her Noodle?
Yeah, I do call her Noodle. Don't I?
No.
Hello, Noodle.
You can be Noodle, why not be Noodle too?
Well, once upon a time, Millie and I decided that we were going to call our kids Choodles.
Oh.
Chips and noodles.
That's cute.
Code switch.
Code switch. That was a nice dig there.
So, yeah, that was kind of... You're really warm.
Oh.
Okay, hang on. Why are you rubbing stuff on me? Stop laughing. Right. I'm just going to plug this in. Could you shut the door, please? It's suddenly boiling hot in here.
You
Thanks.
live in Singapore.
Yeah, well, I had air... Oh, bye. Oh, no, you're still here.
Oh, she's still there. That's a cool... Is that a onesie or just a jumper?
Onesie.
Oh, cool.
Needs
It's
it,
for dress
obviously.
up day at school.
Sorry?
It's for dress up day at school.
Why were you dressing up?
Because
Was there...
it's book day.
Oh, book day. What book are you dressed as then?
The Naughtiest Unicorn.
Never heard of that book. Should I read it? Yeah.
Tell Dave what it's all about.
It's about a naughty unicorn.
Well, yeah, obviously, but like, tell Dave other stuff about this unicorn.
I forgot.
You forgot?
I need the book.
Don't get. That's not the content of this podcast.
But I need the book.
Okay.
I need the book.
Okay, you need the book.
I need the book. I'm coming back, so I'm not closing the door.
She's coming back, so she's not closing the door. She code switches all the time.
I know. She's very good at it.
And she code switches, and it's to do with geography as much as it is to do with community. And I elaborate on this because the other night we went over to a different part of the condo to borrow something, to buy something from a neighbour. And literally as we walked to the playground where she hangs out with all of her local friends, she just started talking like an auntie at me. Like proper Singaporean, Singlish.
I love that because I was thinking about that while I watched the video
Let's
today.
see.
I was like, I hope they had those sounds.
Yeah, she's got them.
Okay,
Nice.
okay, let's see. I got it. I got a joke.
Okay, tell me the joke.
Okay.
I'm ready to laugh.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You.
You who?
Yoo-hoo! Big summer blowout! Was that it?
No.
Oh.
Unicorn.
Ah, nice.
I don't get it.
You who?
Can you explain it to me?
It's about
You,
a unicorn.
a unicorn.
You who?
Oh, I get it now.
Unicorn.
Which unicorn smells?
I don't know.
The pubinicorn.
Is that actually in that book?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's
I can see why you like this book.
Look.
The Poonicorn.
Which
unicorn, that's-
unicorn has... I can't read this word. Carriages and runs on steam.
A unitrain? Trainicorn? A tubicorn? No.
The choo-choo-nicorn.
Unicorn.
Okay,
I was
bye.
close.
Okay, well done.
Wait,
Give me
I
5,
think
love
I
you.
have more.
Good night.
Yeah, I have more.
Yeah, we're not having more now. Good night, love you. High five, bye-bye.
Ooh! What do you call a cold unicorn?
A bluenicorn.
A snow cone.
A
A
bluenicorn.
Oh,
bluenicorn. It's the
bluenicorn.
first one.
Oh.
What do
Okay.
you call a scary
Oh,
unicorn?
I went with your invitation and you've got free Zoom.
Yes. I was going to send you a Teams invite.
That
but I
is
didn't
so
know.
embarrassing. This is like having limited minutes
another-
or limited text messages
got
on the
It's
another
phone.
joke.
embarrassing
Okay,
that
let's
I'm in a
see.
financial situation where I don't feel like I can afford to buy a Zoom
got
account.
one, I
This is
got one.
ridiculous.
What do
Aspen, you gotta go.
Wait,
Look,
one
at the end of this, tear explodes, so we need to make sure we finish our
more.
conversation. You don't care about
What?
it exploding.
What do you
Last
call a
one.
unicorn with the sniffles?
You should
A
get this.
flunicorn.
She's got it. She's
Yeah,
Well
yeah.
done. Well done. You have to prove
Yay,
it to her.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, say
I
bye to
got there
Tia.
in the end.
Bye.
Bye, Noodle One.
My hamster chewed it.
Oh, well, I hope it was tasty.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.
That was fake.
Nutter. She's like you.
is.
Just a little bit edgy.
She's edgy.
Yeah. Both of you. I see you guys quite similar people.
I think so. I think it's a bit scary, but yes.
Yeah. Where were we? I'd just
Well, I was discovering that this was Singapore Airlines.
Oh yeah, I'd switched cameras and we said that we weren't going to say anything significant.
Interesting.
But I can't remember what
Yeah.
we were talking about.
You were talking about care packages and then Kaya,
yeah.
and then I said I found Kaya, then you said Bakwa has to be the small ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like You sound like that member of staff. You've been in these meetings before, where the person who's running the meeting is like, "Oh, where was I?" And then there's one person, there's a SWAT, who's listened to everything, and they're like, "Oh, you were just saying da da da," and they're like, "Oh yeah, thanks very much. That's exactly where I was at." And then they carry on. You just did that.
That's me. So I'm my program representative at uni
Because that's what you do. Yeah, well done. Okay, this sounds like a doable podcast.
Yeah. How often do we want to do it?
Want to, should do, can do. 3 different questions, 3 different answers. Probably.
Okay.
Want to.
You go. Yeah.
Weekly.
Wow. Okay.
That would be fun. I'd enjoy that a
Yeah.
lot. And I think, like, because in terms of good, interesting, honest content, we're living it
Yeah.
anyway. So I don't see that being an issue. However, I don't think I can do that in life. I know you're a student, and so you got loads of time on your hands.
Mm-mm.
But no, you're an executive student now. It's different. It's not like uni the first time.
I do unpaid work for the uni, so.
Right. So so that's not ideal. Monthly?
Yeah.
Once a month? And we'll just see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Do we look for topics? I wrote something down on my phone. I don't know if it was right here. I think let's just check that I actually covered everything that I wanted to share with you. Podcast ideas. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's literally, I wrote teach Jonty Singlish section and
Great.
dissection.
Yeah. Dissection's so great.
That's literally all I wrote.
Okay.
But that's significant.
I didn't write anything.
Do you think do you think we need to find it to start with a topic?
Well, I think maybe not pick one now, but in the next couple of days, if something comes to mind, we can.
Right, that's what I mean. So like, yeah, we'll go with that, and that could be like, we could have a working title for the episode, for example.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how that goes. This one would be like a free 40 minutes with a 5-minute counter in the corner.
The free account.
It's really strict. The free account. And then let's talk. Well, publicising it. That channel's growing fairly well.
Okay.
This year, I wanted to hit 1,000 subs, which is where we can like start monetizing, and then the algorithms change and it puts it out there a bit more. And it's grown from like 20, because it wasn't really an anything account, to 450 over already this year, which is a nice start. So I think with some momentum, it could keep going. That will go really well.
Yeah.
So there's some traction there already. But I think we could reach out to like particularly TCK communities. I think would love this.
Yeah. I mean, so what I'm working on at the moment is my business plan and then my dissertation or project, and it's all about multicultural identity in TCKs. So I will probably have contacts within that realm popping up soon.
We'll just share it out. And how funny would it be to bring Sam in on one of these conversations for another East meets West vibe?
We must. Oh gosh, I have so many people that we could invite later on. Yes.
So
that'd be nice.
we'll just take it easy, see how we go.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I feel like my brain is under pressure because I can see this time counting down.
We can always you can click on the same link and come back.
No, I'm out.
You're done.
No,
You just want to speak.
if you're gonna give me a countdown timeout, that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, okay.
Did you just hear Aspen?
No.
I went, it's ridiculous, isn't it? And outside the door, you can just hear, "What's ridiculous?"
I love that.
We can hear you. No, you're not allowed in. Door's locked. Okay, shut the door. Okay. We got 3 minutes and Tia's going to explode. You better leave. Quick. Where's Mummy? She not put you to bed yet?
No.
You better go to bed.
She's playing chess with Miley.
She's playing chess. Go to bed.
I'm just gonna say. Oh yeah, I
Just keep it
forgot. I
there.
need to brush my teeth.
Okay.
I need to brush.
Yes, you do need to brush your teeth.
I need to brush my
For-
teeth and I'll come back in.
You won't be able to come back till it would have exploded by then.
Toodles.
Toodles. Okay. I really like
Okay.
this. I think this is going to be good.
Me too.
We need to think about branding,
Yes.
thumbnails, or artwork for Spotify and stuff. What do you think? Any
I
thoughts?
think our faces.
Our faces?
People like faces. Faces do well.
Yeah.
We could do like we could take pictures where, so I'll take a picture where I'm going like, and then you do one where you're going like, and then we'll have it with like the world in the middle or something. Because,
Okay. Okay.
if that makes sense.
With the world in the middle.
Maybe. It
Okay.
doesn't have to be. Or just the name in the middle. That
Yeah.
works too.
So I need to do.
Yeah, but like you have to look as if you're looking at me.
Oh, I'm looking
Yeah.
at the camera now. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we'll do that.
I got that.
I'm happy
Okay.
to make that.
You're going to make that?
I'm happy to do that.
Get ready
yeah.
to screenshot.
Well, no, not now. You have to take it with better quality camera.
It just ran out of batteries.
Well, yeah, take it during the daytime when you have sunlight and things.
Oh,
High production value.
okay. Got it. I'm on it. Are you
send
going to
you
use our
some-
actual face? Like, are you going to use it as it is, or are you going to cartoonify it with filters?
I was going to use our actual faces. Why?
That's cool. Sounds great. Let's do that.
Yeah? Okay.
Could you do me a version that's like computer screen?
Yeah, so I was going to ask you what you need then.
I'll
We've
send
got
you some
less than a
stuff.
minute.
I'll send you some stuff.
Can we please just click the link again?